Thanks, everyone. Good afternoon. This is Xin Liu. Together, I have Yanzhao with me. We came from Microsoft. We're very happy to present the SONiC community to update everyone what happened since last summit. A short agenda. So SONiC is a Linux-based containerized network OS system supported by more than 100 switch platforms and all the mainstream ASICs. Fundamentally, the architect, many people are very, very familiar with this already. Fundamentally, nailed down, it is disaggregation. We disaggregate software and hardware by applying abstract layer SI in between, so to enable the hardware underneath and the software to evolve independently. We also disaggregate the components functionalities through containers so that it's easy for the customer to plug in, to build, customize anything they need, or they can get rid of the functionality they don't need in their scenarios. It's also disaggregate the management platform with the OS, with the hardware underneath, so that when you evolve your networking infrastructure, you can keep your management invest intact. You can continue evolving. So during the last year, during actually last multiple years, OCP and SONiC has contributed a lot to each other's success. In 2022, SONiC has extended its community and industry to serve to Linux Foundation, to serve as a bridge between hardware and software. The network OS is a very interesting area that you have to understand the software, but you also have to understand the networking knowledge, and as well as to understand the hardware inside, underneath, to maximize the benefit of the software. So by this pioneer-like model, that SONiC will serve as a bridge between OCP, hardware, Linux Foundation, a lot of software ecosystem there to maximize the benefit. As you might not know that SONiC actually also extend the work with many international communities. For example, ODCC in China, the open source community in India, to boost the visibility to help the open source community there. You might ask, what will change under this new model, right? So I assure you, nothing changed except being better. This is to enable us to scale up. We have a lot of community members and a lot of areas. We actually see that SONiC has been playing a role. For example, optical, for example, carrier, for example, telecom, for example, enterprise. Many of the ecosystem has come in together. So under this model, you see that we build the governing board, which will set up the funding to enable, provision the program to enable it to go far. Underneath, there are two very critical organizations. One is TSC, Technical Steering Committee, which we are in charge of basically all the technical like decisions, provision policies, release, roadmap, and resolve the conflict. You will see this list, we have the voting member of TSC. We have many outstanding industry, well-known engineers to serve on the TSC voting board. The next committee is Outreach Committee. Also, that is an effort that working with multiple companies, that the members that build the strategy to maximize the visibility, the outreach of the program, to work with the customer scenarios and the marketing effort. Together, we have around 10 people from different companies, all very powerful marketing directors work together to help to build the ecosystem. Of course, all these committees, these are voting members, also these committees are open to public to listen, to attend, to receive emails. So we thank others, even though they are not the voting committee, to help to join, to participate, and help us to build a ever-growing community. deboarding serving a very short summary of what's happened in the community. Here is the governing board members. We have from 9 companies, Alibaba, Broadcom, Cisco, Dell, Google, Intel, Marvell, Microsoft, NVIDIA. Those companies, each one has one served as the boarding committee. The next 2 are the TSC, the Technical Steering Committee chair and Outreach Committee chair. We are very happy here to serve everyone, and hopefully together we bring it to the next level. With that, I'm going to give time to Yanzhao, who runs the community, doing a lot of work, to give everyone an update what happened technically in the last year.
Okay, thanks, Xin. So this is Yanzhao. I'm running the SONiC community in Microsoft and also drive the adoption inside. So in the year 2022, the whole community submitted 118 new features. So that's a huge number. In these slides, I'm not going to exhaustively list all the features, but highlight several big categories. The first one is the security. Security is crucial in the digital transformation area. So in the 2022, the community is trying to enable the FIPS. Basically, we are trying to get the SONiC FIPS certified. So we finished the incremental engine integration with the OpenSSL. We are still ongoing with the vendors to finish the paperwork and then finish the certification. That's one big area. We also have a security boot and a security upgrade, those features to secure the supply chain to make sure the code we deployed is actually comes from the trust of the trust source. Okay. The second pillar is the build and the test. So the build is fundamentally impact the whole community. Without a build, it's hard to try the new features. So we spent a huge effort to reduce the build timeline. On the ARM platforms, we reduced 10 times. Okay. And also, we are trying to improve the quality with increasing more test case. So in the past year, we added more than 1,000 new test cases across the SI and the SONiC. SI is the fundamental layer. We are trying to make sure the SI itself has a good quality. Okay. The diagnostic, so with more and more the SONiC device deployed, we need a better way to diagnostic the issues once we have. So that's why the community spent a huge effort to enable more counters, and also we are trying to streaming the structured events with the streaming telemetry, which can improve and reduce the investigation times. There's some improvement on the diagnostic. We also enabled the memory monitoring with the outer tech support. So basically, if you see any memory issues, the system can automatically to trigger the tech support instead of the manually pull. Okay. From the config perspective, we spent effort to enable the GNMI. So in the 2022 release, we added the GNMI features in the SONiC. And also, we defined the Yang model for all the config DB tables. We call it 100% Yang. So that's a big achievement. We also enabled the JCU, or the general config update, which support the incremental change update. Besides those 4 pillars, there are more features. So I will not go through them one by one. So you can take a look on the dashboard. Okay. So besides the highlights, I also want to talk about the 3 use case or case study. The first one is active tour. In last year, we introduced the active standby dual tour story. Okay. That story with a smart white cable, we can achieve a higher reliability than the single tour story. But this year, community enabled the active tour scenarios with the dual DAC cable. And also the server can connect it to the 2 TORs in the same time. This further improved the reliability and also doubled the bandwidth. Okay, that's the major improvement on this dual TOR story. And I want to thank Microsoft for leading this contribution from the community perspective. Okay. The second scenario I'm trying to showcase is we call the Simplified Switch System Integration Program, aka S3 IP. So this one is, SONiC by default is a cross-hardware platform OS. The secret is the side layers. S3 IP provides one more options to facilitate the SONiC porting across different hardware platforms with the side, which support the side layer. So it had a framework to define a unified sysfs directory structure. And also it has tools to out-generate this infrastructure based on the definition. The community also contributed a test framework to make sure, if you adopt this S3 IP infrastructure, all the validation can be done very quickly and automatically. So this features is leading by Tencent and Alibaba. Thanks you guys for the contribution. The third one I want to discuss is the Dash. Dash basically is the next big thing for SONiC. Last year, we introduced the Dash with the 7 case scenarios. So Dash basically is extend SONiC beyond the switch device. So it can support multiple, we call the intelligent hardwares on multiple scenarios. So essentially, Dash is like offloading and acceleration with the DPU or IPU, smart NIC, smart switch. So Dash is also defined some behavior models based on the P4, which means you can run the Dash without any hardware. It defined standard APIs to facilitate the community to adopt the Dash. So Dash is SONiC based with cloud providers, hardware providers, solution providers, and also the enterprise partners to play in the Dash community. There is a Dash community that if you want to contribute, you can feel free to join. Okay, so how we enable the Dash scenarios is quite straightforward. SONiC itself is a container-based. Container-based means you can easily extend this infrastructure and add new features without impacting other existing features. So Dash basically is a very good demonstration on this extensibility. So by enabling the Dash, we just add one component on the GMI container. So we define some APIs. At the middle, we also extended the syncd container. At the bottom, we definitely need the hardware vendors to support the Dash. So as you can see, by just adding 3 components or 3 layers, we can enable the Dash scenarios with SONiC. Oh, sorry. Okay, I will go quick. So in the 2022, the Dash community enabled the VNet feature or scenarios. So I will not go through the details here. So basically, you can try it with the P4 behavior model. If you already have a DPU hardware, then you can also try it end-to-end. Okay. So the last, I want to thank the whole community and also all the partners, the individual contributors for the contribution to make the SONiC community better and better. In this November, we have an event. It's called One SONiC Workshop and Hackathon. It's based in Seattle. So the time is from November 15 to November 17. Specifically, the SONiC event happened on the November 17. So we are welcome you guys to join and contribute your ideas to this event. The last one is a call to action. So we are welcome you guys to join the SONiC community and also join the SAI community to contribute your ideas, add new features. So as Xin mentioned, we switched to the Linux Foundation. So we have a new mailing list. You can register this mailing list to get new updates on SONiC. Okay, that's all. Thank you, guys.